In this video, we will take a look at all the info we have so far about this hideout, and we will try to bring a bit more light on the matter, a bit more knowledge, and prepare the player for what's about to come. The hideout will be implemented in the game with the coming of the patch 0.12, according to the devs. This will be the first iteration of the hideout, a simpler version where normal stash and hideout will be somehow combined.
I think the first iteration it will be like a simple representation of your inventory. So they will be.
So basically, like he says, a representation of your stash. The first iteration will serve for testing and trial and error purposes, and the more the game developing advances, better variants or more complete variants of the hideout we will have. When will the patch 0.12 hit the game? Well, I'm afraid not too soon. As you guys have heard and seen, there will still be two intermediate patches, 0.11.5 and 0.11.7, with a lot of content and hopefully some great fixes, game fixes. And after that, if no more small patches interrupt the initial release concept, then we will have patch 0.12. So I would say at least 2 more months. 0.12 will also bring a new map, at least one more scav boss, if not more than one, new weapons and a lot more. But that stuff is subject to another video, and yeah, before I forget, 0.12 or the coming of the hideout will definitely bring a new wipe. That's that with the release of the hideout. If the dev plans change, then the release of the hideout will also do the same. Initially the hideout was planned for Christmas 2017 or for beginning of 2018, if you guys can still remember.
We plan to release open beta at the end of this year. I think in December maybe we will try, and maybe after this we will add the hideout option. Or there is a possibility that the hideout will be in this update. Okay.
But that obviously didn't happen, so we will see this time if the guys can keep up their promises, but I believe so. Nikita has a bit more experience now when it comes to communicating important info, more cautious when it comes to specifying dates, and I believe the hideout will come with 0.12. What you guys need to understand is, judging everything by the stuff we see and the plans of the dev, the EFT final version will not be released very soon. We see first iterations of that, initial plans for this, and this is planned, that is planned, plan into plans according to Nikita. EFT will not be finalized very soon, guys. The devs have big plans with the game, and fulfilling big plans requires a lot of time. So let's be patient, folks. Do we know how the hideout will look like? Yes, we do. During Gamescom 2017, the devs showed us a variant of the hideout, the fully upgraded one. Just listen.
What's it going to look
how
like?
It's going to look like in the game when this upgraded fully.
Yeah, so this is kind of really upgraded hideout.
So we do know how big the hideout really is, taking into consideration that there are no hidden rooms somewhere on the back and that the initial plans haven't changed. Judging by the screenshots the dev provided and by the footage from Gamescom, the hideout looks like a L-shaped area with the living room on the far right, looking from this position, and with the shooting range on the left side. It will be interesting to see if you have full liberty on changing stuff around, but apparently not, according to these official comments. The screenshots also reveal a certain time frame, if you noticed, and I am intentionally posting them screenshots this way. At the beginning you see a deserted place with a lot of trash, and yeah, it's basically junk, but the more we advance during this time frame, the more you see different pieces that are being added to the hideout. And this is the upgrading the guys were talking about. I will come back to the hideout modules and those upgrades a bit later after finishing the physical aspect. It is not clear yet how players will obtain access to the hideout. Let me just explain what I mean by this. It is already clear that the hideout will be part of the main menu, probably like you see in the Gamescom footage, and you will not walk to it on the surface of the map, at least not for now. What is not clear so far is how will players unlock it. According to the Q&A I read while doing my research, it could be a special quest players will get. Interesting, right? By the way, all the material I read and watched will be in the description below if you want to also read it for yourself. So once physically in the hideout, you will be able to walk and interact with certain items or objects, craft certain materials, make some ammo for your weapons, listen to music, and even watch some videos, according to the devs. Train your skills, more on that in a few moments, and very important, use the shooting range to test weapons with no fear of losing ammo, very important. It is not clear yet how many animations will be made for the time you spend in the hideout. Some stuff is still in development or not even created, so some of the stuff can come in the future or will come in the future. There are a lot more things that can be mentioned in this physical appearance of the hideout section of the video, but I cannot talk about all of them with too many details here in this video. We don't have the time for that, but here is a list with some of them. Pause the video now and have a look. Worthy to mention here is the fact that in the future you will probably be able to invite your friends to come by and smoke some tushonkas and eat some Wilsons, or the other way. But it is complicated for now and we will probably not see this future in the first hideout iterations. So, as you already understood from the video, the hideout is initially a representation of your stash. You will be getting it empty or almost empty with the first iteration, and you will have to upgrade with the so-called modules and some other features the devs will provide or create. What are those modules though? Well, the modules are basically upgrades that you as a player will have to assemble into your hideout by first gathering the parts, storing them in the hideout, and then building them together. Some examples would be a power generator. We already know that the hideout will work with the power source and you will be needing to gather fuel for the power generator or buy it from the traders. A water collection system, ventilation, medical treatment facility, a normal bathroom, a security system or recon system, and other more. According to Blackbird, one of the BSG crew members, there are more than 13 modules in production, and apart from them, there are some elite modules the guys are preparing as well. In order to start the construction of those modules, you will need parts and tools. Let's just say, as an example, for toolboxes, fuel conditioner, a lot of PC parts and more stuff like that. Just an example. Once you have them and the possibility to unlock the, let's say, blueprint for a particular model, then you will be able to start putting it together and improving it in time, I guess. It is not clear from the research material if the finished module is upgradable or not, but I think so. The basic principle of unlocking and building the modules is going to be bound to what relationships you have with the traders, the skills you have to unlock building that module, and of course having the necessary materials. It remains to be seen if there is something else involved in this process. I'm really curious about this. So basically at the beginning, when your modules are not that complex or maybe not even built, the health regeneration will be slow in the hideout. And you will have to burn some meds or even ask for help and treatment from the trader. Nikita said in the previous podcast that the rapist will have this option. But to compensate this, you will have 3 players, 3 characters with which you will be able to juggle a bit and switch between raids until the second one goes full healthy and so on. The more you work on upgrading your modules, the faster you will regenerate health, increase some skills and work on your other abilities. The other features the hideout will have are the possibility to craft ammo, for example, to create customized weapon builds, to try your weapons out on the shooting range, again with no loss of ammo, and many more. A bit of fun is also planned, and listening to music is planned as well, watching videos and probably drink some vodka. Did I say that adding a drunken status is also in the planning? Important to note here is also the fact that the hideout will not be the same for all the players. If the initial plan hasn't changed, there will be 3 hideout cache levels. It is not known what the size of the caches is, well, I didn't find info regarding that, but according to the devs, EOD owners will have the biggest cache, level 3. More on this in the future when we will find out the initial plan, if the initial plan changed or not, and how big or one of those caches. So everyone is waiting for this game feature and everyone is excited to see how it looks like and how they can customize it. The hideout will not be the same for all the players and I cannot wait to customize mine and watch videos with other hideouts from the community. Remember that we will not see the final version of the hideout now, just the first step the devs made towards the final goal, and keep in mind that seeing the game being finished and polished is a long-term task. There is more that I can say about this matter, but I try to be short and clear for everyone, try to highlight the most important hideout features and news and try to stay away from things that are not sure or solid. A bit of background on this video and generally on my channel. You guys know me for covering the EFT news and for being the first in doing the game tests. Well, real life is really busy lately and I didn't have time anymore to sit down and edit the news videos and bring them to you hot, fresh, as I used to do before. And the news flow is so big sometimes that you don't have enough time to pack all the info into one small episode. The guys talked about the preliminary patch notes lately, about the hideout, the new sound system, which we will also discuss here in this channel in a future video, about future weapons and equipment, new features and so on. So you see a lot of info to show or to talk about, and my plan right now is to do several parts, several videos where we show and talk about all those new things that the devs think to implement into the game, and this way raise some awareness, keep you informed and contribute to the community in the best way I can. So subscribe if you haven't, if you want to see the next episodes, and tap the bell to stay up to date with my content. As said in my previous videos, I cannot compete with the big sharks. I have a normal job like most of you guys, a family with 2 kids, and it is not easy to somehow dedicate 6 hours to editing, for example, and even more to playing, writing scripts, doing research and so on. Nevertheless, I want to thank you and appreciate the help the patrons provide. Please feel free to patron me if you have the means or buy some merchandise from my shops. All the help I get, I immediately dedicate into improving my way of creating content for you guys. Hope you found the video useful. If so, why not leave a like and a sub? It took some time to gather all the info and put it together in a simpler way, easy to understand. I am streaming EFT on Twitch during weekends. It is hard to have a certain schedule due to the IRL situation, so hope to see you there sometime. Patrons, thank you very much for your support. Remember guys, to break the chain of game addiction and also spend some time with your families. Your mom will definitely thank you if you have at least some time to take the trash out and do some shopping for her. So do that. IRL is way more important than gaming. Redseven out. Peace.